And welcome to this episode of The Situation Room. I'm your host, Angel Perry. Now today in studio, I'm being joined by contestants who are vying for the position of Minister of Social, Culture and Mobilization Affairs. Before even I get to introduce my guest in studio, allow me to make mention to say in total there's supposed to be 5 participants, but unfortunately one could not be with us today, and his name is Brandon. And also allow me now to get and introduce to you my guest in studio. Welcome, gentlemen and lady. All right, now in a short space, I'll start it from you, Simba. Introduce yourself to me and also the audience. Who are you and also why you chose to run for this position?
All right, thank you so much for having me here. My full name is Simbarasha Chugora. I'm a second year studying mass communication. Why I chose to run for this position is basically because my life revolves around media and entertainment, but also I think on the business side. Yeah, basically I think that I love organizing events. Basically that is why.
All right, thank you. We'll move to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. My full name is Chanda Jabes, second student doing the library information sciences. My main aim to stand on this position is actually, but we want to make our entertainment in school to be more powerful. People, they should be seeing that this is Unzasu. Thank you.
We'll move to you, Natasha.
My name is Natasha Miller. I'm a third year social work student. And the reason why I decided to contest on this position is because of the many social challenges that I notice at this institution that I plan on tackling.
All right, then Namu.
My name is Namu J. Chilonda. The reason why I chose to go for this position is it goes way beyond just having it as a talent or having it as an entertainment. I think like I just came to Earth just for this position. I came for this to say that I want to change the world in the future. I want to build a better road for citizens who haven't even been born yet. I want to make a lifestyle for people who are just going to live off of their talents. So I really believe that in my presence, my legacy will inspire thousands of Zambians to make it a better future for everyone.
All right, thank you. Now, even before we get really to the deepest and everything from what you've already established as everybody, knowing that you all are seeing it from different angles. When you say Simba pa social, what do you exactly mean?
So for me, my name is Simbarashe. So most people around call me Simba. My slogan came about just from my name. I cut my name, put it on the position that I'm standing for. And for me, I simply did that because many people know me by that name.
Okay.
And I didn't want to come up with any other name because it would be very hard to tell people that I'm standing on this position. The slogan doesn't have to do so much with what I'm planning to do for the people and all that.
All right, thank you.
It's just for the public.
And you, Jabez?
Yeah, they have been the name, I think since first year. So it's like I didn't want to go and pick some slogans which would be confusing people. So I just selected the same name which.
All right,
so
okay. I'll come to you, Natasha, now. Arguably one of the names that has really caught everybody's attention. Why Nikki?
My slogan is actually Ubuntu pa social.
Ubuntu pa social.
Ubuntu. And Ubuntu is part of the Zulu phrase, which is Umuntu, Ngumuntu, Ngabantu, which means a person is a person to other people. I decided to use Ubuntu because all my plans are plans that I want to make sure I incorporate all the different interests, all the different student interest groups. These interest groups, which could be the secular, the religious, and the cultural interest groups.
Okay, thank you for that. And we'll come to you, Namu. Why Namu pa social?
Namu J.
Namu J pa social. Sorry for that one.
So my first name Namsale, then the acronym, just the smaller part of it, people just say Namu. And then the J stands for Jonathan, so Namu J.
Okay, great. Now, coming to you, Jabez. You have 5 contestants vying for this seat, but why should people choose you?
Looking about the things which have been happening, I can say the institution, they are being at the secular institution, but it's not everyone, whatever program which has more being of entertainment. Don't you think that people who doesn't, for example, who doesn't attend these shows which we usually have, the annual events we usually have, like Freshers Bash, we have Miss Unza, they usually, okay, maybe sports people can attend, but these secular shows, there are some people who doesn't do that. So we want to come up with a program where we want to work hand in hand with a religious minister, so that this coming year, people can see it different. Even them, they are supposed to feel the social aspect. We are going to arrange for them gospel concert so that they can be enjoying it.
Okay, but when you mention UNZA is a secular institution, and certain people do not participate because they need gospel, and I believe you're referring to Christianity?
Some sort of.
Okay, how about the other religions?
That I can say about 85% of.
So your decisions will be only for the 81?
It's not about my decisions. That's why I've said we are going to work hand in hand with a religious minister.
Okay.
So that the minister can be helping me on how to strategize some shows. If other religion there, if we can put up some shows for them, well and good. My main priority.
So,
social.
okay, even before I lose that thought, so
Yeah.
you work with the Minister of Religious Affairs to help you strategize. So you have no plan of your own as a social?
I said, being the chairperson of the social activities within the school, we are going to make a gospel concert, but I can't do that alone because it's been social, but it's somehow related to religious.
All right, thank you, Jarvis. We'll come to you, Natasha. Why should people on September 27th vote Natasha?
Okay, so like I explained what my slogan means, Ubuntu. Ubuntu is working together. So they should vote for me because in all my plans, I'll consult the student pop, and also the student populace input will be the basis of my operations.
Okay, we'll come to you, Namu.
All right, I really love this question. As I grew up, I began to feel like in order for you to give solution, you first have to be in the field. You have to understand the pain. Moreover, me being a candidate, I'm also an artist. So I'm firsthand affected by the decisions that the ministers make because I feel like I'm a lion. If I don't kill, then I don't eat. When I think people should vote for me because if, like I said, if I'm a doctor, I know the medicine to give you. You know what I mean? Yeah, just simple like that.
All right, thank you so much, Namu. And lastly, coming to you, Simba. Out of 5, why should people pick you? Why vote Simba?
Why people should vote for Simba is because I think because of the background that I've given you. My life revolves around media and entertainment, and for me, I love organizing, bringing people together and organizing events together. So for me, why I feel I'm not really a professional entertainer myself, but if you look at the way I live my life and how I do things on a daily basis, I'm a social person and I love bringing people together. So you look at the things that I would like to do, even when you look at my manifesto, they are based on 3 premises: entertainment, recreation, and participation. One of the things that I would like to do is bring up a cultural band that we can use to actually finance the ministry and have a ministry that is actually fundraising itself. So I think basically those are some of the reasons why I feel people should vote for me, because of my abilities to bring people together, organize events, and do all those kind of.
All right, great. Now, we know really to say this is not an easy job to organize people, to do events. It takes a lot of event management. It needs a lot of planning and everything. Now, I started with you, Natasha, really. What 2 realistic ways or measures have you put in place to say you achieve the Ubuntu and you achieve the goal to really enhance the Ministry of Social, Culture and Mobilization?
Ubuntu, like I said, I plan on bringing together all the different types of interest here, which is the religious, secular, and cultural. So my plans involve...
And you mean bringing them together through events?
Yes.
Okay.
Because that's what socialization is all about. Socialization should just be about, it shouldn't always have a boundary of, oh, I can only socialize with only one group of people. Socialization should be something that, it should be something where everyone can interact, everyone can socialize, whether from this background, this other interest. I've learned things that I have learned from different interest groups, the religious, the cultural, as well as the secular. And so I plan on doing that by bringing in events that events that will cater for everyone at the same time. Make sure I want to do that by making use of all these events like talent show, a movie night. Who doesn't want to come for a movie night? All interest groups will come for a movie night and they'll interact.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Now, coming to you, Namo, again. You talk of saying you want to create a future even for people that are not yet born. You want to change the culture. Same question that I ask her. 2 realistic measures you will put in place to ensure your objectives are met.
Okay, no problem. So first of all, the first thing which I want to do when I'm in power is create this like road, a path which these children can take. What we have in our place is we don't have a route as artists, you know what I mean? We have this burden to say that as Unza students we can't get paid for these events because we're not good enough or we're not trained enough, you know what I mean? So what I want to do, first of all, is find a way where we can have support for our own local artists. You know what I mean? That's the first thing I want to do. Then secondly, what I want to put in place is a way to have more creative events. You know what I mean? We can have events, of course, but now my events are more creative just because of that. You know what I mean? So under my manifesto, one of the things I wrote was, why can't we have inter-school events? You know what I mean? So we've had similar events most of the time. Freshers Bash, Cultural Day, and the like. Now I told myself, wait, why can't we have CBU comes to Unza and we socialize with people from other universities. Like this is the University of Zambia, not Lusaka, but the entire country, you know what I mean? So if we can reach out and give people from other universities the experience to be here, you know what I mean? Then take ourselves and go there, experience their, you know, society, how it is over there. It's really amazing. Shapes and sizes of entertainment are various.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you have to cater for a lot of people. It's
All right.
not simple.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem.
Simba, we'll come to you. 2 measures you put in place.
Okay, so for me, like the 3 things that I want to do, and I want to be very clear about them. For instance, maybe in recreation, one of the things that I want to do is want to take people for like traditional ceremonies. The thing has been that you find that maybe once in a while people will only go to Nchwala, and then maybe smaller associations will go to other maybe traditional ceremonies. But how realistic can that be? When you look at the point that I'm talking about participation, where we're going to bring in a school choir and a cultural band, I feel the country is biased towards us as the University of Zambia. So if we can have a choir and a cultural band that we can take for economic forums and political forums and these other forums, and they can perform there, I feel we can be able to raise money. And that's why I was talking about a fundraising venture in the ministry, so that we can subsidize on prices, on how much people can pay actually to attend these traditional ceremonies and all. And when it comes to entertainment, because for me what I'm advocating for is really regular entertainment. You don't have one event in 3 months. That doesn't make sense. How realistic is that going to be? So what we can simply do is we can talk to corporates who have an agenda to push. Basically, maybe if they want to do a product launch or anything, you just write a proposal to them and they can pay for a stage, they can pay for artists, and you can have a free event that is fully paid for by corporates.
Jabez, I'll come to you. Like everybody else has mentioned, 2 realistic plans that you have and will implement once you're minister.
Okay, this is what we are going to do to get in social with the students. Next year we are going to come up with a suggestion platform. That thing can be on WhatsApp, any social media. People have been complaining. Bobby is the same guys have been coming. So students now are applying it. No, give us
and how you do that again? Just
like a suggestion platform.
Okay.
Like it can be on social media. Then people they can be like voting. Like we have plenty of artists and people they can be voting. Then actually those artists having a good percentage they can be invited to different activities. And the other thing is, as my guys have mentioned, we want to promote our own students. By that students, our own people who can sing within school, so that those people they can feel that they are within Unza. Because you cannot be every time inviting people from outside school, you pay them, then you are not considering your own students. So we have to support our own students so that school things can be within school.
All right.
Outside things can be outside things.
All right, thank you so much. I'll start with you, Namo, on this one. And this one is particularly just for you. Last year, around this same time, you contested in this same ministry. Come a year later, 2019, you're still in the same position. I'd like to find out why exactly it's still the same, why you're still contesting for the same ministry, and also what's new this time around.
Okay. 2 questions.
Yeah.
So first of all, I want everyone to understand that 365 days a year, this is all I do. You see, like I said earlier, I feel like I just specifically came to Earth just for this purpose. So whether I lose or win, I don't change who I am. And it will never change me, because I know what I'm doing today, if I can make this road in a better future for people 50 years from now, even if I die poor, if I die hungry in my coffin, if somebody 50 years from now can drive a car because of what I did in 2019 and 2020, I'll be a happy dead man. You know what I mean? So I had to go back into last year and see what I did wrong or what I felt I could have done better. And I think growth has been detected. I think there's a lot of growth which is coming about. And throughout the campaigns which I'll be doing, you'll be able to see my love and care and time which I've put into these events. Now it won't be so surprising, you know what I mean? But most of my entertainment packages, they've gotten bigger. Like I feel last year is nothing compared to what's about to happen this year. And that's because I've set a standard to say, the campaigns I want to do this year, it's a very high standard. The campaigns I want to do this year for the next 10 years, I don't want them to be outdone. I want them to
Now, coming to you, Simba, really, and this one is just for you alone, I know. When elected as minister of this ministry, right now, like what's on the ground, what do you think is the biggest thing that needs to change? And when you enter office, what's the first thing you will change?
There are many things, I think there are many issues, but I think for me, one thing that is important is work in collaboration with the different social groupings that are here on campus. The problem is, I think, over the years, and for the years that I've been here, I've seen people who have been appointed in the Office of Social Culture and Mobilization serving a biased grouping, which is not supposed to be the case. That's why for me, when you look at my manifesto, I'm also looking at the cultural perspective, not just entertainment and dancing and singing, no. There are many other things that we can do, especially also on the cultural side. That's why I've even talked about a cultural band. So for me, I think what is very important right now, what is on ground is, when you look at the social perspective or the social activities that we have in school, they're not activities that encompass everyone, every social grouping, okay? So for me, I think that's really one thing that I want to do, focus on everyone. There are people who love this kind of music, there are people who love this other. That is my main focus. The social groupings, give them at least what they want.
Okay.
So basically for me, I think that's what I would like to do.
All right. And then coming to you, Sabebe, really, your story, if you become minister, is one that will sound somebody like from hero to zero. It is known to say last year you were a frontline cadre for many politicians, and this year you are now in the forefront of contest. Could you just clear this out? Are you power hungry?
I want to change certain things.
Okay.
Example, as I said earlier, we want to give platform to people to choose what they want. Yeah. I was a cadre, yes. That's one of the things which is in me. Yeah. I like dancing and I'm social, yeah. I understand, but it's not about that. I'm hungry for power. And coming from a cadre, being a candidate, that can disturb my mood.
Okay, so yours is to serve the people.
It's to serve the people.
All right. Then coming to you, Natasha, I'd like you to confirm, to say your room was, others say it was. It's true, we've heard reports. I don't know, you clarify for us firstly. To say others say it's bent or it was almost bent.
It was almost bent because when I didn't really think you were going to ask, so my heart is pumping really fast right now.
I understand.
It's too sensitive, and it's very sensitive because it was life-threatening, and it's very sad because I'm getting comments from people saying that I was threatening my own life for sympathy or votes, and which I think is very low of people to think of me, because for those that know my personality and my interaction with people every day, I'm one person that wouldn't do the most just so that I compete to make. And so the fact that someone tried to threaten my life shouldn't shock you people. You say it's never. A lot of people are hungry for this position. You should know that. And so I was very sad. I was very traumatized. People have of course come to me and say, no, maybe you should try counseling, but no, just a few encouraging words from people and people reaching out and showing concern has been enough for me. And so one of the other plans I have is improving the social structures at this school, because it's come to my attention that these a lot of social structures that we have at this school are not fully utilized, and this could be maybe because the structures are not user friendly. And these structures could be include the student center, common rooms, and Goma field. And so I plan on improving these structures by the Goma field, increasing sitting area as well as increasing sport facilities. That's which I'll do with the incoming sports minister, increasing sport facilities like netball, volleyball, and other sports facilities, as well as bringing a mobile vending booth for refreshments. Because you know, while you're waiting for a game or while you're watching a game that's happening there or whatever activity will be happening, you want to get some refreshments. But mama ka freeze it. So I want to bring such vending booths there, as well as the common room, so that there's multi-programming in the multi-programming when it comes to the television, so that it includes all different interest groups. So that when a monk is watching soccer, and after some time a mama can also come catch up on Zuba and Z-Word, as well as the student center, renovate it.
Thank you, Natasha. Thank you. So the last question I would like to ask you really is something that everybody has been talking about, and I would like you to clear it. Most people say your dancing is controversial in your campaigning. Could you justify why you do it?
If I could sing, I would really I'll become to everyone's door campaigning with my voice, but I can't sing. And so twerking is just one type of dancing. Dancing has a lot of different types of dancing. There's Namu's type of dancing, and my type of dancing. There's the Chimwemwe type of dancing that Simba does.
Namu, you agree?
Different from mine.
Okay.
And so these are all different types of dancing. So I can't start forcing myself to do Namu's type of dancing that I cannot do. And I'm good at twerking.
Okay.
You know, but last year, my friend Namu was dancing throughout his campaigns last year. No one said anything talking about that. Why? Is it because he's a man? Why should people talk about my dancing, that I'm using my dancing in my campaigns? Because, well, first of all, I'm vying on a position that involves entertainment. Entertainment has dancing in it. There's singing, there's dancing, so many other things.
Okay.
And so when I dance, why should it be wrong? Because I'm a female, because I'm using a body part. But that's what my type of dancing involves. It involves my butt. I can't be twerking with my boobs. Twerking involves a butt that I have. There's nothing I can do.
Even as we come to the conclusion of this, really, I'd like you guys to break it down one last time, even as you conclude, why people should vote for you and the one thing that you focus on come the time that you are elected as minister. I'll start with you.
Remember, Simba Pa Social, 3 things that I want to do: participation, recreation, and entertainment. Entertainment, want to bring regular events so that students are not bored. In participation, want to create a school choir. If there's one anyway, revive it. And also a cultural band. And then thirdly, on recreation, one thing that we really want to concentrate on is taking students out there for traditional ceremonies so that they can be recreated at the end of the day. So these are the 3 things for me that I really want you guys to take note of, so that once I'm given the opportunity to get into the office of Minister of Social Culture and Mobilization, I'm going to be accountable for them.
All right.
So yeah, that's basically, I think,
Thank you.
it from me.
Jabez?
Okay, thank you once again. This is Sabebe. We are going to focus. One, we have to make sure that the gospel concert, this thing people have been crying, they have been crying for. The other thing, we need to support our own students. 2 things, we are going to make sure that focus on them. We can source money. The other thing, I wanted to talk about this.
Under 30 seconds.
The annual events, but now there is, for example, Komen Kuruma, their freshers batch is being sponsored by it. So we can do that because we are the biggest institution in Zambia. We can do that. If Komen Kuruma can do that, we can do that to source money to support these other activities like the talent shows. And
Natasha, coming to you.
Rather, is the regularity of events through the Ubuntu formula of regularity of events that will cater all interest groups, from the religious, the secular, and the cultural interest groups. The second one, the improving of social structures. And the third one that I am very revisiting of the funeral grant, because social is not just all about entertainment. Social includes even serious matters like funerals that we have here, because we know every student has a person that's personal in their family, even students that have passed. And so the revisiting of the funeral grant, because the funeral grant has been 500 kwacha for the past 5-7 years. I don't know how many years exactly, but for the longest time. And to see how the economy has risen, I don't think 500 kwacha is really good enough for the purpose that it's serving. And so the revisiting of that.
Thank you. And coming to you, Namu.
First of all, I have a lot of things with why I think people should vote for me, but I want to say actions speak louder than words. So I would love for you all to see what I do and feed through my love for each and every one of you. But other things which I would put is my creativity, my routes in which I'll provide these entertainment, my culture. I'm proud to be Zambian, and I hope all of you are proud to be Zambian. Throughout my reign, I want to promote that.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming through and finding the time to be with us here. Well, that is all we had for you in this edition of the Situation Room. Remember, I had done the position for Minister of Social, Cultural, and Mobilization. You've heard it from themselves. Come September 27th, you be judge, persecutor, and jury, and make that decision. Until next time, thank you so much for watching.